Hey guys, welcome to Make It Yourself. Really excited today because I'm going to finally replace this old tank panel, tank bib, um, which is, it's nice. It's old. It's scratched up a bit. It's got some flakes from the chrome or chrome that's peeled off. So it's kind of an eyesore for me at least. You probably don't notice it if you don't know it's there. But I know it's there. So I'm going to go ahead and replace this today with this new tank panel that I got from JP Cycles. So it's solid, uh, all chrome, and it comes with the rubber backing. So this one actually has like weather stripping on the backside of it to help protect it, or protect the tank. It hasn't done the best of jobs, but it was better than, I guess, leaving it raw. And I didn't put that on, somebody else did, but I get their thinking. Um, so this new tank or panel has the rubber backing, like I said, and it comes with the new screw that will replace this one, which looks like it was also something that was an afterthought, just because it's, I think you can get this exact screw at Home Depot or whatever, which I've done myself, so no knock on that. And the washer is definitely aftermarket. It's a dull setup. So this will be a very easy deal. I'll be able to swap this out really quick, and we'll be able to take a good look at what this looks like on the Fatboy. So like I said, this is a really easy job to do. You literally need probably two tools. One is a wrench just to loosen up this nut here, so that way you can lift this a little bit. I'm pretty sure we won't have to take out our trip meter knob there. And then, of course, the screw will need to be removed. So I'm going to go ahead and loosen that up right quick. Set that aside. And then do that lower. And that's it. So now this old one is off. Like I said, it's got some, I mean, it's aged, right? It's been around the block a couple of times. So it'll be nice to replace this. And then, as I mentioned, this was kind of what was being used to protect the tank below. And you can see it's got some wear marks there. Um, I mean, it did the best it could, I guess. So I'm going to take a rag really quick just to kind of wipe it down a little bit. I still need to wash my bike, so it's pretty dirty. And then what, I don't know if y'all caught, but what's nice about this one here is well, if you really pay attention, this kind of, I don't even know, tile or not, texture here matches up with the texture of the dashboard there. So it's a perfect match, right? So it just kind of flows much better too. So I'm going to go ahead and lay that on. All right, guys, so I've been kind of toying around with this for a little bit, and in order to make this really fit right, like it should, where this is sitting as flush as possible, and there's a little cutout in this. You can see right here, there's this groove, which I believe that's for this to kind of fit into. In order to get that to be there, for things to kind of line up here, the hole is right between that upper and lower hole. So if I try to put my little if I put the nut plate on the lower one, it pulls this unit down and separates it from the dash. And then if I put it too high, it pushes this up and it actually creates a huge gap between the tank and the dash. So that doesn't look well either. So what I think I'm going to do is this hole, like I said, it's elongated. So I think I'm going to go ahead and just elongate it a little bit more. So that way I can slide that nut plate all the way up to this edge and be able to screw into it. And that should put me right at the perfect spot for that. So the way I'm going to do that, or figure out where that hole needs to be, is I'm going to slide this up. Kind of hard to do while I'm holding on to the camera. But I'm going to slide this thing up until it's flush against this. And then I'm just use a pencil and circle it. And then I'm going to take a drill and just drill a hole that's big enough for the screw to go through. And that should hopefully resolve my issue. So I'm going to, like I said, it's kind of hard to push up with one hand. And it sits really close to the frame. So kind of a pain to try to push this up. So I'm going to just get something flat and push up on it, make my mark, and I'll bring you back. Okay, so I've got that hole or the marking on there. So I need to bring that up about a good, at least, you know, 1/8 of an inch, maybe up to 1/4. So I need to figure out how I'm going to do that. I can either use a Dremel and just grind it up, because it's not very thick metal. This is pretty thin. Or I can just use a file and try it that way. So I'm gonna mess around with what I got to see what I can use. Because if I try to, I could try to center punch it and then put a smaller bit in there, and that would at least give me a starting point where all I have to do at that point is round it out. So I may end up actually just doing that. It sounds like a little bit easier idea. Because I think with the file, just due to the fact that I can only go so far down with that file, I might be filing for a while. So I'm going to go ahead and try the center punch idea and start with that smaller drill bit and work my way up until I get to the point where it'll open up to here. And then at that point, I may bring in the file just to make sure I have enough room. So I'm going to go ahead and try that. Okay, so I'm going to start with an 1/8 of an inch drill bit first. I'm actually going to lay down a rag so that way I don't get a bunch of shavings drop down into the engine area. Let me get a couple of rags to do that. Not that I think it'll do it any harm, but wouldn't hurt. Just kind of minimize the mess that this is going to create. And I'm going slow just so I don't fling the shavings all over the darn place too. That's it. All right, I'm through. So the initial hole is started. So now at this point, I'm going to step it up to a little bit tall or thicker bit and just kind of keep going, like I said, until I break into the elongated hole, and then I can go from there. Okay, just as a little, I guess, I don't know if I'd call it a hack or not. Maybe it is. What I'm going to do is I've got this magnetic stick. So if you drop your tools, you use these to get them out of the tight areas that you can't fit your fat hand into like I can't. So I'm going to put that in a baggie and put this underneath to catch all of the shavings as they drop. And again, just to help keep it clean, now it's just going to be less of a mess, and I don't have to worry as much as about shavings going down. So now I'm going up to a 3/16. And with that, I've now broken through that elongated hole. So I'm actually going to see if the screw will actually fit in there. Okay, and it looks like it still needs to be opened up a little bit more. But now I'm going to use a little different type of bit where it steps up. And that actually might be the name of it. So let me get that real quick. Okay, so using this bit, I just went ahead and went into that hole, and I'm actually hitting bottom. I'm right at the same size as the screw now. It does fit, but I want to widen it just a little bit more. So I am going to take a file and see if I can open that up just a little bit with the file. If not, I may have to go to a different style of bit, kind of same concept as this. You can get these real cheap at Harbor Freight. They work really great as long as you use them in the right setting. So I'm going to try to open that up with the file, and I'll bring you back. All right, so I've got that hole elongated a little bit more. Let me clean that up. Try to catch all the shavings I can out of there with my little magnet deal. Like I said, so once I pull the magnet away from the bag, all those shavings will just fall off in a trash can, and that way you don't have to worry about all the darn shavings sticking to your thing. If you do, I've heard people use air compressor to blow them off, and a rag works really good as well too. You just wipe it really hard with the rag and then go outside or whatever, shake that rag off, so that way you don't get shavings everywhere, at least not in your garage. So I've got that off. I'm gonna go ahead and try to line everything up, and hopefully it'll be good to go. So now it's kind of back in place, but if you notice now, that hole is lined up perfectly with that. So I'm going to go ahead and put my screw in there, and I should be able to tighten this up. And then hopefully, I ended up having to take this off just because I was toying around with things and it was just running in my way. So hopefully everything will line up and we'll have a finished product. So here's the finished product. Everything lined up just as I had hoped. Now, for some of my followers, if you guys have this set up on your bike, I'm just curious, is there supposed to be like a little plug or something, that just because that hole seems so big in that, you know, I don't know, I would just imagine that they would want to kind of hide that, maybe with a silver or chrome cap. I don't know, it just seems like something's missing there. I don't know. But if you have this set up on your bike, let me know. I'm really interested. It looks much better than what I had before. So I'm happy with it. Super happy with it. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. As you saw, any little job can turn into a large job very quickly at a moment's notice. In this case, I was lucky. It worked out to be a pretty simple mod to do to the bike. And now I have a very beautiful looking tank panel on there that matches the dash, and I'll just keep styling, right? So if you like the content, please subscribe, give it a thumbs up, and if you don't want to miss out on the next video, hit that notification bell. I produce every Sunday, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and I hope to see you on the next video.